Fran Grove. I am with the International Longshore and Warehouse Union, a Local 94. I got into this industry because I'm a COD, child of deceased. Child of deceased means actually that. Years ago, I lost my father. My father passed away. He was an active member here. And what it does, it gives you an opportunity as being a COD to come in and to start working in the industry. So you don't have to go through the long process that most people do, but you have an opportunity to come in and start working on the waterfront and learning right then and there. I came into this industry from being an electrician, and I didn't know anything at all about how the waterfront worked. My father had done it, and I was used to being the recipient of everything that the waterfront had to offer, but I didn't know anything about this industry. And from day one, the fellas and the women down here just took me in. It was really like coming home. Taught me everything. Taught me everything I needed to know, from picking up that first job to where the location was to actually working. So there wasn't anything that they weren't willing to teach you. As long as you have an open mind, anyone down here on the waterfront will help you. It truly is a family situation. So you can expect to be treated like family from day one. As a foreman, it's not a typical work day. I work anything from the rails, which is the loading and unloading of containers off of the rail cargo. For rail cargo, I can be responsible for ship. And on a ship, I've got anything from 30 people that I might be responsible for up to about 80 people that you can be responsible for. And that's because we have such things as top handlers, we have the signal people, we have swing people who are taking containers, that take the containers and they take the cones off of them. We're lashing. So our days vary. There are some days that I'm even responsible for yard work, which is delivering containers to outside truckers and making sure that we keep up with all the goods that are in the yard. So there is no typical day for me. And that's what I love about the waterfront. There's nothing that you can ever say that you're going to be bored with, because it will vary so much. And in an 8-hour shift, so many different things can happen. So I'm not in a typical situation. From sunshine to the rain, we're out there every day making sure that we keep those containers moving, keep cargo going so that we feed the world. The union's changing. Years ago, it used to be a matter that you had gangs. And that meant that the fellas, and at that time it was fellas, it wasn't so much that the women we have now. We've probably got about 40 to 50% women participation now within the ILWU, International Longshore and Warehouse Union. But everything was done by hand. And so it took a lot more people to move cargo, to get those bananas to you, to get the automobiles to you. Everything was strenuous. Nowadays, with containerization, things are different. With the fact that we're now talking about, we've gotten into the mobilization, everything has changed. So what used to take years ago, and I'm talking maybe 10 years ago, what used to take 4 or 5 days, we're now getting those ships out in 2 or 3 days. So it means that we've had such a change in the industry. The number of people are changing that we have on the job, and we're becoming more mechanical. So as I see things changing, we're going to be talking about how do we keep up with the high tech? How do we keep up with the fact that we're going green now, that things are more in the electrical, more mechanics. Everything that we have that used to be pencil and paper, it's no longer that. We've now moved to the point that we've got everything electronic now. We no longer know what's in a container. Maybe that's a good thing, maybe it's not. But that's how things have started to move. So this industry is going to change drastically in the next 10 to 12 years. We may have less people. As people start to retire, they may find that they need less people to do the same jobs that we're doing nowadays. But what's important is that we do keep the ILWU family, that we don't lose that. The family's been here. I grew up in the family. I can remember as a kid knowing who my father worked with, because during that time they worked with gangs, and so those same fellas, 6, 7 fellas, worked together. They ate together, they partied together. That doesn't happen so much anymore. But it's still that family of knowing that that person that you're working beside, you've got their back, they've got your back, and that you're going to be there together. That however this industry changes, we will all get there together. That's the most important thing to me.